Today we are working on Psalm 129. Now, Psalm 129 has many uses, and one of the uses that is common is to overcome oppression. So anything oppressive, it can be an oppressive person, organization, situation, just life in general. Anytime you feel oppressed, this is a great psalm to come to. And the way that we work these psalm spells is very simple and extremely powerful. We take the psalm in question and we recite it out loud all the way through once without stopping. And we call this an incantation. And then we take that same psalm and we go back through it verse by verse, sometimes even line by line. Heck, sometimes I even go through it word by word, and we search for hidden occult meanings within the psalm. And it's through that searching and that digging, that finding and applying to whatever our issue is that we brought to the psalm, whatever our problem is or our goal that we brought to the psalm. And it's through doing all of that that we actually plant the seeds that we find in the psalm deeply in our deep mind. It's like tilling soil in the fields and planting. And in a very real way, all those seeds that we plant take root and they grow and then they blossom forth and then bear fruit after their kind. And that is what we are going to do together today with Psalm 129. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, may Israel now say. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me. The plowers plowed upon my back, they made long their furrows. The Lord is righteous, he hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. Neither do they which go by say, The blessing of the Lord be upon you. We bless you in the name of the Lord. A very brief psalm, and it's a psalm with lots and lots of beautiful seeds of wisdom in it. So let's get through this right now. And it says, Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. So when we think of this from a magical point of view, from our youth, it can mean from our youth in this lifetime, but it can also mean just this whole idea of coming to this earth again and again and again. And we just are kind of almost stuck on this cycle of birth, rebirth, and birth, rebirth, and birth, rebirth. And then because we're in that habit, then we apply that same kind of habit to every little aspect of our lives. Toil and resolution, and then toil and then resolution, and then toil and resolution. And it just always seems like we're going between the poles of oppression, freedom, oppression, freedom, oppression, freedom. And we don't actually have that freedom. We want to be freed from that entire cycle of oppression. So many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. And it says, may Israel now say. Now Israel in this sense is you as your higher self, you as your soul. Remember how we break down Israel into those three syllables. Is meaning Isis, the feminine principle. Ra meaning Ra, the masculine principle. And El meaning God or the divine principle. That's who you are as a soul. You are masculine, feminine, and divine all in one. So may Israel now say, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me. And this is so important that even in the midst of our oppression, nothing prevails against us. It can seem as though things are prevailing against us. It can seem like everything is going against us. It can seem like we are extremely oppressed. But from the soul's point of view, nothing can prevail against you, and nothing is prevailing against you. So from the point of view of where things are in spirit versus where things are in this world, even in the midst of worldly oppression, you are free because nothing can prevail against you. The plowers plowed upon my back, they made long their furrows. And so when you feel oppressed, it's like it's on your back. It's like it's on your back, and there's furrows down your back. There's scars there, and there's so many memories of every single time you've been oppressed by something in this world, and those memories seem to have more power than anything else in your life. Those scars. It says, "The Lord is righteous; he hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked." So even with all that memory of this oppression that we've had, even all of this this proof that we have been nothing but oppressed in our lives, the Lord. Now, who is the Lord? Remember that the Lord is not a deity. The Lord is not a tribal deity of the ancient Hebrews. It's not a father god. It's not a mother goddess even. It's pre-gender. It is the one life force. It is the one source of all life in all the universe. There's only oneness. There's nothing other than the Lord. And again, the Lord is pre-gender. It's not masculine. It's not feminine. It is pre-gender. So the Lord you can think of in terms of the qualities of God. And the qualities of God, or the qualities of spirit, are manifold, but just a few to consider is that it's infinite life. It's the life principle itself. It's that which beats your heart. It's that which gives life to all things. And life goes on no matter what, because God is eternal. It's the concept of infinite spirit. And spirit is that which cannot be destroyed. Spirit is invulnerable. Spirit has nothing that can assail it. Nothing can attack it. So nothing can thwart it. And so the infinite spirit is who God is. And as an extension of soul, which is another aspect of God, it's who you are. Because who you are is an extension of the love of God itself, of God themselves. So when you consider who you are as a soul, you are an extension of infinite power. And there's nothing that can harm you. There's nothing that can oppress you, because that's who you are. So that's who we're talking about when we're talking about the Lord. The Lord is righteous. What is righteous? That which is right. That which is right thinking, right acting, which is real. You could almost say the Lord is reality. The Lord is real. And anything that's not the Lord is not real. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Now, who are the wicked, or what is the wicked? The wicked are our own errant thought forms deep within us. And those errant thought forms are thoughts that are trying to think separately from God, trying to think separately from our good, trying to prove to ourselves and to the world that we are separate, that we are alone, that we are vulnerable, and that we are oppressed. And so anything in the world that is coming to oppress us is an extension also of our own thinking. And we're not saying that you're to blame, and we're not saying that you should feel guilty for the oppressions in your life, but recognize that we have our own responsibility within the invisible world of having thought forms which accept that oppression. And so that's where we can start to work deeply on ourselves so that we are immune to oppression in the physical world. So the Lord has cut asunder the cords of the wicked. And you can just see that as a visualization, that anything that is tying you to any sort of oppression, within or without, you can just see big, giant divine scissors coming and cutting those cords and freeing you right now. Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion. So all the thought forms within you that hate Zion are the thought forms which are self-hatred, because Zion is that exalted mountain within your own consciousness, wherein your soul dwells. That is the place where you and your soul are one with your Creator, that the Lord of these Psalms, your Father, Mother, God. So within that place of Zion, all is well. That is what we might call heaven. All is permanently perfect. There is nothing that is needed. And so when you are in that place of Zion within your mind, then all is well, and you have no needs. All of your needs are met immediately and instantaneously. There is only peace. There is only safety. There is only oneness. So any thoughts that are pulling you away from that, experience of truth are thoughts that hate Zion. So let them be confounded and turned back, meaning confound those thoughts, disengage those thoughts, cut the cords of those thoughts from my mind so that I no longer am tethering myself to them. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up. So the grass, you can just see that grass on the top of a house where the sun is just beating so much on it, and there's no water for it. It's just withering and dying. Those are all the thought forms that allow for this oppression, and therefore all oppression is now drying up, just drying up in the hot sun. There's nothing to do. You don't have to do anything. It's being done for you. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. And again, so you don't have to toil. You don't have to go mow that lawn. You don't have to go harvest those sheaves. Those are being destroyed. Those are dying. That's a harvest that is dead on the vine. And that's a good thing. So all oppression is dying on the vine. You don't have to take care of it. You don't have to do anything about it. It's being taken care of for you. Just by recognizing these simple yet profound truths. Neither do they which go by say, the blessing of the Lord be upon you. We bless you in the name of the Lord. So, you know that if you bless, you put yourself in that situation. Everything that you go by, if you bless it, if you say, the blessing of the Lord be upon you, we bless you in the name of the Lord, nothing can withstand that blessing. And there's a secret here that no matter what it is that is oppressing you, it needs your blessing in order to be released. And that is the esoteric meaning of that New Testament injunction to love your enemies. That New Testament injunction to love your enemies, esoterically, it means something very important. Exoterically, love them, I guess, because that's the right thing to do and that's nice. It makes you a nice person. But really what you're doing there is you are taking the wind out of your enemy's sails when you do that. You make it so that if you bless and you love those enemy thought forms or anything that appears to you as being an oppressor, if you give it blessings, if you say the blessing of the Lord be upon you, we bless you in the name of the Lord, in whatever language you want to use, you don't have to use those words, you are then putting yourself into a position of great power where those things can be removed easily, because what we resist persists in this world. And so when we let go of the resistance of whatever this is, when we stop resisting this oppression, the oppression disappears. And that's why we bless this. We bless our oppressors. We bless our oppression. We bless all that we are experiencing. And what that does is that it puts us in line with that infinite stream of blessing. And that infinite stream of blessing is the divine design for your life. And so that everything either has to conform to that divine design or it has to dissolve and move away. And so that's why when we bless the things that appear to be oppressing us, we're not saying, oh, it's okay, you can oppress me some more. That's not what we're doing at all. When we bless them, when we forgive them, what we're doing is we are stopping the resistance. Therefore, we are not contributing to it. And that's how things can fall in line to the divine design and either start working for our good and then they become our ally, or they dissolve and go away and no longer are a problem for us. So that's why a psalm like this is very, very powerful. And you can just keep coming back to the psalm again and again until all that oppression just dries up and goes away right before your very eyes. And when you start feeling peaceful about whatever it is that you brought to this psalm, then you know your spell has taken and you can move off of that and go on to something else. Thank you so, so much for spending some time with me today. Much, much love and many, many blessings.